Hey everybody, welcome to the 14th episode of Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews. Today we've got a pretty interesting title that comes to us from Yu Kaneda from 2000, and that would be Boogiepop and Others. Now, the Boogiepop franchise actually began life as a series of light novels in Japan. This movie being an adaptation of the first novel, it later spawned some manga and a very phenomenal anime series that's what got me into the Boogiepop franchise. But this movie actually takes place before the anime series, and it's an adaptation of the first book. If it sounds confusing, I'm sorry, but it's only going to get muddier. The story of Boogiepop is so multi-layered and complex that to give it any justice is really hard to do in like 5 minutes. But here's the bulk of the story from this movie. The film revolves around a group of high school students, all dealing with their own issues of isolation, depression, love, growing up, and all sorts of real-life themes. But there's a lot of weird things happening behind the scenes. There's this mysterious cloaked figure named Boogiepop, who the students call the Angel of Death, who seems to be taking children away. There's a lot of kids that are going missing at the school. There's also this very strange-looking man called Echoes, who doesn't seem to be able to speak, only to mimic. Add in the fact that there's this new drug that's going around that seems to be making some pretty terrible results, and you've got a very complex and unique story that's pretty much unlike, any other story out there that I've heard. So the story is very complex and interconnected, which rewards repeat viewings and connecting this to the manga, the books, and the anime. But there are a couple problems with this movie. One, the production values are pretty poor. The special effects and the action scenes are laughable in most cases, and the acting, for the most part, is not so good. It's melodramatic in a lot of scenes, which really takes you out of the mood of the movie and into, making fun of it. It doesn't really capture the engaging essence of the anime series, which is one of my favorites, and I can watch that multiple times and not get tired of it. This movie, it's really hard to get through it because there's so many long, drawn-out scenes with bad production values that I usually either turn the DVD off or fall asleep, and this is coming from a diehard Boogiepop fan, so I can't even imagine, what somebody who's not familiar with the franchise would think. There are so many characters to keep track of, the relationships between the characters as well, that I think, if you're not familiar with the franchise, this one's going to be a hard one to get through. It does have some redeeming values. The soundtrack is particularly nice. You can also buy the CD, available in the US. The story is very nice. Obviously it's adapted from an excellent book, and it's pretty closely follows the book. There's a few liberties here and there, but overall very nice. And it rewards viewers to look at the whole franchise and put all the pieces together, which is very fun. It's one of the reasons you would watch something like this, with such a complex story, is to figure out how everything fits together. So, on a few levels, it's quite enjoyable. I would recommend it to the, fans of the Boogiepop series, but just know that, it could have been so much better. It's kind of boring and kind of campy, to be honest. And I'm actually quite hesitant to even, call this a horror movie, because the story is so multi-layered that it encompasses a lot of different themes. But, if you want something really different, and hopefully this will lead you to watching the anime, which I highly recommend for anybody. Even if you're not into anime, that anime is unlike any other one. Or even read the books, because a few of those have been translated in English as well. Then that's good, but on its own, the movie does suffer. One thing that doesn't suffer, however, is the DVD. It's been released by the Right Stuf International. They also released the anime series here in the West, and they did a fantastic job with the movie as well. It's got a lot of extras. It's got making of. It's got like a premiere footage. It's got all this behind-the-scenes stuff, storyboards, some little written text from the director. It's, some trailers. There's a lot of good stuff. I think, it totals over like 50 minutes of extras. So, definitely, they did a great job with the DVD. If I had to give Boogiepop a score, the film version is probably only going to get a 4 out of 10 from me. while the DVD itself gets a 7 out of 10. It's, it's a nice story, and, fans of the anime will like it, but well, as much as you can like it, I guess, but everybody else is probably going to get bored silly with this one, so, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's certainly an interesting film with a very, thought-provoking story. It's just too bad that the movie version doesn't do the series justice. So yeah, hopefully next time we'll get a better film, but for now, this is Swan signing off, and as always, we'll see you next time.